Welcome, Internet Nomad. Today I'm talking about a new release. This is Mixtape. It's a game from 2026 where you follow three friends on their last night together. I found the game through the Summer Game Fest 2025. I remember seeing the game thinking I should get it. It was on my wish list and I hadn't heard a word until Indie World in March. I was debating between the Switch 2 or the Steam Deck version. I ended up buying it on Steam Deck. I love watching people talk about music. A YouTube channel, which I love, called Beyond the Beat, includes podcasts and video documentaries about classic songs. I love watching interviews from artists. The topic of music always interested me. Mixtape contains some great music. While other games like Life is Strange utilize music to great effect as a garnish, Mixtape doesn't hide their connection. Each song has an introduction and fits the scene well. The introduction is kinda cheesy. They break the fourth wall and give facts about the song. It feels like an NPR introduction to a song. When I finished Mixtape, I felt like I wanted more. Which, isn't that the point of a mixtape? I grew up listening to rap music, looking for free music online. I would keep checking DatPic for official mixtapes. The whole point of a mixtape is to promote the album. It may include teasers for future material. Others are high points using popular instrumentals. Taking something out of context and giving it a new life is the point of a mixtape. This game is somewhat like a mixtape. You play through the memories of three friends. Each scene is accompanied by a song. After Mixtape rolled credits, I wanted more from it. The memories were cool and the story was complete, but there were parts left unsaid. The whole game centers around three people: Rockford, Cassandra, and Slater. The dynamic between these three characters is told through memories. The whole point of the game is to prepare for a party. These three kids are rebellious and punk-like. While I don't share memories like these, I remember hearing stories from people who lived through the wild decades of the 80s and the 90s. I feel many Gen Z people, myself included, lived a very different life. These stories are great because it brings a sense of nostalgia, even though I wasn't rebellious or wild in my childhood. The game is super short, clocking around 3 hours. I find it neat that the game is around the length of a movie instead of a game. Most mixtapes are short compared to the actual album. Even some mixtapes would cut parts out of a song to tease the next project. This video game feels like the equivalent of a mixtape for a bigger game. I hope that game is made. I love playing and learning about developers. Beethoven and Dinosaur developed this game. I went back to check out their catalog and found a sick game called The Artful Escape. This is how my collection of games grows. I have a huge backlog of games, so I'll wait to buy The Artful Escape. Right now I just want to share my first impressions. I have seen publications like IGN giving this game a perfect score. This game is far from the best game of 2026. It might be the most memorable game of the year though. You will remember parts of this game for years to come. The characters give little pieces of themselves, and the player quickly learns the dynamic and why these friends are together. This game feels like a happy version of What Remains of Edith Finch. It's a celebration of life and teenage debauchery. I wrote the next section as a conclusion, but I want people who avoid spoilers to hear this part, so I attached it here. When the music ends, the band doesn't continue playing. They move on to the next piece of music. When the set list is done and the encore finishes, that's it, the concert is over. When a mixtape finishes, all the listener could do is replay it. Even if a sequel mixtape drops, it's all new songs, and the story from one tape to the next isn't always connected. It's a moment in the life of an artist. The next project is different because life changes and the muse changes. If the story continues from one tape to the next, it's all new instrumentals. The whole project doesn't feel one-to-one. That's how music is. Most artists don't like repeating themselves. Mixtape is like a work of music. When the tape finishes, all I can do is press play and re-listen. I might catch new things from replaying, some subtle details that I didn't see the first time playing. I love short games because I am more likely to replay them. This is a fine game, I can't give it a perfect 10, but I can end by saying, it's like a piece of music. People who connect with it have their own opinion. It's like Anthony Fantano giving an album like Kids See Ghosts a 10. I might not agree, but everyone's experience is different. Maybe this will speak to the teenagers who would shoplift and sneak beers. I don't know, all I know is that this game is art. So now I'm going to go into spoilers. I really encourage people to play the game before listening to this part. The game is $20 and the experience is great. Roxford is leaving town to follow her dreams by beating her idol and hopefully becoming a music supervisor. The problem is set up that the player learns about a road trip they were planning. Cassandra and Rockford end up having some beef. Cassandra feels disappointed that Rockford bailed on the trip. There's a recurring character called Jenny Goodspeed, which is Roxford's antagonist. Roxford learns Jenny replaced her on the road trip. Jenny and Cassandra end up leaving to drink at a convenience store. Cassandra's dad is super strict and a cop in town. It ends up the party which the trio planned to attend got busted. Then Roxford learns that the cop is going to bust teenagers, striking in front of Heaven 11. This causes Rockford to save Cassandra from being caught. The trio reunites and the party is still busted. Camille Cole, the popular girl who planned the party, asks if they know where they could have it. The group has a secret hangout in the forest. They agree to divulge the secret since the group isn't going to be together anymore. The party happens and fireworks burn down the cabin in the woods. Cassandra stands up to her father after taking the heat for the fire. The father realizes he has to have some freedom. The story ends with Slater and Rockford headed home. Slater doesn't know what to say. Rockford tells him, just say, see you tomorrow. The two end the game by saying, see you tomorrow. I wonder what happens next. These characters are so much fun too. I could see myself writing fanfiction using them. The mixtape ends with the final goodbye. I wonder if Rockford will go to New York to follow her dream. Do the other two go on the road trip with Jenny? These questions are left unanswered. I don't see this as sequel bait. I think this game is inviting fanfiction. I really can't see Mixtape 2. I feel like when the game ends, the player's left with just the music. Farewell, Internet Nomad.